Well, I'm Guy Kelm, and I wrote a book called The Apron, Stories from the Farm. And I wrote this book to honor my mom, who passed away 4 years ago. You know, even with 11 kids and many, many grandchildren and great-grandchildren, every one felt like they were the only one in her life. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a gift, I think. And that was really a huge reason of why I wanted to write this book, to remember her. And a year after my mom passed, this might sound funny, but I like to iron. And so my wife has an apron collection, and so I thought about those aprons being in a box, and I said, we really should take them out. That's just not right. So I started ironing these 60 aprons while I'm watching TV and we're talking. And she says, wouldn't it be great if these aprons could talk and tell us the story of where they've been? And it was just instant that's how I need to tell my story. And I talk about how, you know, she would bake us cookies, but they're usually oatmeal cookies, because that's what we ate every morning, was oatmeal. That was our cereal. And so oatmeal was always there. But I did share the story of when those cookies weren't quite good enough for me. There was that time when those oatmeal cookies weren't quite good enough for her bread-eating son. He asked her to make something different for his class. As always, she told him she'd see what she could do. So there we were with her 2 cookbooks, scouring each recipe to see which ingredients she had on hand. We looked through recipes and in the cupboards for most of the morning before we had found the cookie recipe for chocolate sparkles. She had just enough powdered cocoa for a double batch. And how she smiled as she mixed and measured, letting the flour and cocoa float and lightly dust me, rolling the dough into balls and dropping them into sugar before baking. And how chocolatey and crackly they baked up, and what pride we felt as she placed them on the cooling rack, awaiting her son's return. And running in from the bus, he stopped short, hardly believing what he smelled and saw. What are these? He asked. They're chocolate sparkles, she smiled. And without a word he hugged her, and all that love just melted into me.
Where can people purchase your book?
Right now it's at the Cattails downtown, the old open window, right across kind of from Cattails. Yep. And I'm still working on other places too. Chocolate, etc. said they would like some in there also, so I've got to get them down there. They're on my website, which is greenkitepublishing.com.